What's up, everybody? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm your friendly neighborhood political shit talker, Robert Durden, and I've got a smile on my face right now for a couple of reasons. Now, this is not good news, but it makes me laugh a lot. So we're going to talk about two things. It appears that possibly the House Democrats, the progressives, are actually going to allow Joe Manchin to decouple the bills. Now, that is very bad, meaning the House would pass the Republican bill and that would become law. It would go to Joe Biden's desk and become law because he's going to sign it. It's a shitty privatization scheme for our roads and bridges. And a huge giveaway to corporations also. But if they did that, then it would mean the reconciliation bill still hasn't been voted on by the Senate. And they could maybe, and right now what's happening is Joe Manchin has said he's very frustrated that the House Democrats haven't voted on his bill, the Republican bill that they've already passed in the Senate. And they showed a clip of him during a press conference, telling the crowd, we're really, really sad that Joe Biden had to go to his climate conference before we actually pass this bill, and we need to pass this bill first. We need to vote on the shitty Republican bill first, effectively decoupling it from the reconciliation bill. So that would mean that the progressives would have to take Joe Manchin at his word that he's going to take the current $1.75 trillion bill and actually pass it afterwards, which the squad, if they did that, it would mean that they're less than useless, way more useless than I even expected them to be. And so Pramila Jayapal was shown that clip of Joe Manchin talking about how they need to decouple the bills. And her response was on MSNBC was basically, it's a leap of faith, but if we get what we want, I have no problem decoupling the bills. That is so fucking bad, and it is such bad news for Kyle Kulinski, who he just came out with an episode. I haven't even watched the whole thing yet. Actually, I did. I watched near to the end, and I had to come make this video right afterwards because you guys know I love nothing more than watching these Squadsuckers melt down and backpedal like assholes, and I'm gonna go after them. I don't care. I'm gonna go after them every day that this is in the news. I'm gonna go after these fuckers, so just get used to it. I'll do other stuff too, but this is gonna be what I do. I'm gonna drive Kyle Kulinski insane. So back to the substance. He is melting down on his show right now, and even towards the end of his video, he seems like he's done with the squad. So I think we're breaking him. Let's keep going. But what does he say, guys? He tells about how they're decoupling the bills, and how if it turns out that Pramila Jayapal is saying what she's saying in that clip, it looks as though the squad is actually worse than Kyle Kulinski could have ever possibly given them credit for. So he's about to lose his fucking mind. But towards the end, to his credit, he talks about how he has sources inside the he knows people in Washington that say that, in fact, Sinema and Manchin are on board for the $1.75 trillion bill, and they will keep their word. He also says he has a source that says that the squad has a list of executive orders that they're going to give to Biden, and Biden is on board for some of those executive orders. Now, he then says, but that second thing, I'm fairly certain that source is going to be full of shit, because there's no fucking way at this point the squad is doing anything for the people, and he basically admits they're useless. Very good. You're about a year late to the party, Kyle. Now, I'm not saying he's on board the same way I'm on board for trashing them daily for doing this and, expecting it from them, but I feel like we're breaking him. I feel like I'm in his head. I feel like we're all in his head, and we should stay in there. We should stay in Kyle Kulinski's head forever until he either apologizes, says stop donating to the squad, and I've been enabling them, so I apologize for that. If he doesn't do that, we're going to drive him mad. And I love it. I love this shit. Because they were wrong. These people were wrong. We've been calling it for a fucking year. If the squad had done anything good, it would have meant that the TYTs and the Kulinskis and the Doles and the Figueiredos of the world were right. What do you guys think? If they decouple these bills and only the Republican bill passes and then some defector in the Senate, it might not even be Manchin or Sinema. It might be just one of the other centrist Democrats in the Senate. If one of those defects, it's done. It's dead in the water. They'll just change their mind and see that they have a bargaining chip, and then they'll, take the flack for a couple of weeks and then kill the bill, or it'll have to get even reduced further. they'll reduce it to 1.5 trillion or 1 trillion or whatever. And at that point, the Squad will have zero leverage whatsoever because the shitty Republican bill was their only leverage. It does not look good for Kyle Kulinski and his sanity in the near future. But I am laughing all the way to the bank. Oh God, I am nummy in my tummy. Nummy Kyle Kulinski tears. I love this shit. Anyway, I promise I will do some news later on today, even though technically this is news. Like, if this actually happens, it's going to be hilariously devastating for this country and the Democratic Party. I mean, watching them all melt down is going to be a lot of fun to watch if actually the reconciliation bill does die. Oh my God, would that be bad? Anyway, I mean, fun to watch. Bad for the neolibs and bad for poor people, but it's always bad for poor people in America. It is hilarious to me as a poor person to watch the Democratic Party, who promised to build back better, not build back at all. No, it's worse. It's way worse. And Kyle Kulinski's like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone after he puts the aftershave on. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. Oh, I love it. Anyway, keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. I love you very much. We'll see ya.